In the earlier class, we already discussed about the real numbers. What are real numbers? Here, you already discussed. The first number system is the natural numbers. After that, we get whole numbers, and after that, we get integers, and after that, we get rational numbers, and we discussed about the irrational numbers, and all these together, we call it as an real numbers. Up to that we have discussed in the earlier class, and we already discussed about the representation of the rational numbers and the representation of the irrational numbers on a number line. Now we are going to discuss about few properties of the rational numbers in this class. Let us suppose you have given two rational numbers, consider 3 and 4 here. If they ask how many rational numbers that lies between 3 and 4, how do you solve this problem? Here, if you consider 3 and 4, you know that if you have given any two numbers, you can find the middle number by using the formula a plus b by 2, which we call it as a mean. If you have given any two numbers a and b, you can find the middle number by using a plus b by 2. That we call it as a mean of the given numbers. Since we want to find the rational numbers that lies between 3 and 4, how do you solve this one? Just take the mean of these two values. What you will get here, 3 plus 4 by 2, which is equal to 7 by 2. So we can say that 7 by 2 lies between 3 and 4. So you can write here 3 is less than 7 by 2 and less than 4. Since in between 3 and 4, 7 by 2 lies here. So here what is the question they asked here? How many rational numbers that lies between 3 and 4? Is only the one rational number that lies between 3 and 4? No. Here, now consider these two numbers. Now find the mean of these two numbers. How do you find the mean of these two numbers? Just you have to take the average of these two numbers by taking 3 plus 7 by 2 by 2. So here, what you will get here after solving? What you will get here, 3 into 2, which is 6 plus 7 by 2 and by 2. What is the value of 6 plus 7, which is nothing but 13. Here what you will get, 2 into 2, which is 4. So here in between these two numbers, which number lies? 13 by 4 lies. So here you can write here 3 is less than 13 by 4, which is less than 7 by 2 and which is less than 4. So here from the first, between these two numbers this number lies, and between these two numbers this number lies, and if you take any two numbers, you will get the number that lies between two numbers. From this what we can conclude here, if you have given any two rational numbers, we can find infinite rational numbers between the two rational numbers. From this what we can conclude here, if you have given any two rational numbers, there exists infinitely many rational numbers between them. So if you have given any two rational numbers, we can find infinitely many rational numbers that lies between the given two numbers. This is the one property of the rational number. We already discussed here how to represent the rational numbers on a number line. Now here if you have given one number 1 by 2, here you know that it is a rational number. How do you write this number in the form of the decimal? Just you have to divide these two numbers so that you will get the result as 0 by 5. As we already discussed, it is a terminating decimal, and if you consider here 1 by 3, what you get here 0.333 up to so on. It is a non-terminating repeating decimal. These two numbers we call it as a rational numbers. So here, suppose if you have given this number, they ask to write this number in the form of the fraction. How do you solve it? Let us consider if you have given the number 2.5. They ask to write in the form of the fraction. How do you write? in the earlier class we discussed if you have given fraction, we have written that fraction in the form of the decimal. Now if you have given the decimal, how do you write that decimal in the form of the fraction? Suppose if you have given the terminating decimal, here just you have to write this one in the form of the fraction. How do you write? After the decimal point, you have to check how many numbers are there. Here you can observe that after the decimal point, one number is there. So here in the denominator, you have to keep 10. Like this you have to represent. If you have given one rational number, that rational number you can write in the form of the decimal. Let us consider one more, 1.375. Here it is also a terminating decimal. If you want to represent this decimal in the form of the fraction, how do you write? You have to check after the decimal point how many numbers are there. Count it how many numbers are there after the decimal point. 1, 2, 3. So here in the denominator you have to write 3 zeros. Like this you have to represent if you have given the terminating decimal. Suppose if you have given the non-terminating decimal. Let us consider the example 0.3 bar. Right? This one 0.333. Now this one you have to write in the form of the fraction. How do you solve? There is one process here. Let us consider this number as x. So here what is the number given? 0.3 bar. That one we can write it as 0.3333 up to so on. Here after that, here just you have to check what is the periodicity. In the earlier class we already discussed about the period and the periodicity. What is meant by the period? What is the number that is repeating, that we call it as a period. Here what is the period? Here 3. How many numbers are repeating, that we call it as a periodicity. Here how many numbers are repeating? Here only one number is repeating here, that we call it as a periodicity. So if the periodicity is 1, we have to multiply that number with 10. If the periodicity is 2, you have to multiply with that number with 100. That is the process. Here since the periodicity is 1, you have to multiply this number with 10. You have to write that one. Since the periodicity of the given number is 1, multiply both sides of, let us consider this as equation 1 with 10. So here first what we have to do, just you have to take the given number as x, and after that you have to check what is the periodicity. If the periodicity is 1, you have to multiply with 10, and if the periodicity is 2, you have to multiply with 100. If the periodicity is 3, you have to multiply with 1000. So here what we have to do, just we have to multiply with 10 on both sides. What you will get here? What is 10 into x? Here you have to multiply this number with 10. If you multiply this number with 10, what you will get? Just you are getting the decimal point before. Here in place of 0.333, you have to write it as 3.3333 up to so on. Just you have to change the decimal places before the 1 point, since the periodicity here is 1. If you are multiplying with 100, suppose, how do you write here? Just take 2 numbers before. So how do you write 33.333? Like that you have to write. Since here the periodicity is 1, just one place you have to change it. What you get here? 10x is equal to 3.333 up to so on. Now what is the given number here? X is equal to 0.333 up to so on. Now what is the next step? Just we have to subtract these numbers. After subtracting these numbers, what you will get here? 10x minus x. If nothing is there, you can take it here as 1. 1 into x is nothing but x. So here what is the value of 10 minus 1? 9x. Here what you get here? 3 minus 3, 0. Here also 0. Here also 0. What is the value of 3 minus 0? Which is 3. You know that 3.0 is nothing but 3. So what you are getting here? X is equal to 3. Since we are multiplying these two numbers, if you take this 9 to the right hand side, it will become division. So what you will get here? 3 by 9. Here 3 ones and 3 threes. So what is the value of x here? 1 by 3. Here we took the number as recurring decimal and we have written this recurring decimal in the form of the fraction, so that we are getting the result as 1 by 3. Already you learned how to solve that one. What is the value of 1 by 3? 0.333. This is by using the division, and if you have given the number in the form of the decimal, you have to follow this process. What is that process? Just take the given number as x, some variable, and after that you have to check the periodicity. If the periodicity is 1, you have to multiply with 10, and if the periodicity is 2, you have to multiply with 100, like that. Now after that you have to multiply with 10 on both sides. After multiplying you are getting this value, and after that you have to subtract with the given number. What is the given number here? 0.333. After subtracting, what you are getting here? You are getting the value of x as 1 by 3. Like that you can convert. If you have given fraction, then you can convert in the form of the decimal, or if you have given decimal, you can convert in the form of the fraction. Now we are going to discuss exercise 1.1.